Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, you get the idea. Well, as I looked over my channel, going back at the various videos I've made, I can see a lot of my videos have to do with 80s properties. You know, Thundercats, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters. And one of the key staples of the 80s and cartoon-wise was, of course, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Looking back at it, I didn't really watch He-Man that much. I mean, I did, but only in order to get to like Thundercats and Transformers, and the same with G.I. Joe. I wasn't a big G.I. Joe fan, but you know, they were there, and I figure if I'm going to have like any type of collection with all these 80s properties, I should have something in the line of He-Man. So I began to do some research and look at all the toys that were out there. I considered the original He-Man, yeah, but that's just something in today's world. The original toys that we got in the 80s, they just never held up to snuff. You know, they were just weird versions of what we kind of saw on TV, but you know, if you remember the first Optimus Prime, he didn't really look like Optimus, but you know, they tried. And various other properties, the Ninja Turtles, they were good, but you know, the NECA series came out and blew those out of the way. So I figured, you know, so there had to be something out there today that would be more along the lines of what I was looking for. And what I was looking for was how he looked in the TV show, like here. See, so that's kind of a specific. And, you know, taking a look at the three prominent He-Men that were out on the market today, you had the vintage line He-Man. He was kind of like a remake, and you had the classics line, and he was completely redone. He was like huge. And recently, you had the Origins He-Man, and I really considered him when I went to pick up my He-Man because, you know, he looks pretty good, but there's just some things I didn't really like about him. His face, it just didn't look like He-Man to me, and his hair was all yellow and not the gold. You know, He-Man had gold hair, Prince Adam had yellow hair, and those two-tone boots, ugh, that just drove me crazy. Yellow and brown, I didn't like him. I love the articulation, don't get me wrong. The figure looked really nice, but it just wasn't the one for me. None of these three were doing anything for me, but luckily I found one that I think was the best looking He-Man for my buck. And likewise, if you're going to have He-Man, you want to have Battle Cat. And that being said, you know, the original Battle Cat I looked at, he was a little, you know, static. And the fact that he didn't move, he was just this like little statue type thing, and he had a nice red saddle and face mask on, which was good. That's what you want to look at. The classics Battle Cat, he was a little big, and his saddle and face mask were too dark red, I think. I wanted something really bright red and bright green and bright yellow for the stripes. So I was able to take all of the details I wanted for that Battle Cat and find one that suited my needs. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you what in my humble opinion is the best of the best when it comes to He-Man and Battle Cat. Presenting the Masters of the Universe He-Man Super 7 He-Man figure and the Masters of the Universe Origins Battle Cat. And these, in my opinion, are the two best representations that you're going to find of these two characters in today's market. So what we'll do is we will take a look at both of these figures in this review, and starting with the Battle Cat. And taking a close look at Battle Cat in the box, you can see it is done in this very nice package, very reminiscent of the original package art. You have Masters of the Universe here, Battle Cat, nice picture of Battle Cat with his claws and his helmet knocked off, and He-Man with his axe and shield, Castle Grayskull, new for 2020, just 20, 6+, modern posing. And Battle Cat there, nice continued artwork from the box. You have a Mattel symbol right there, because this is actually a Mattel product. And going to the side of the box, you have Masters of the Universe Battle Cat, some credits for the box down here. And on the back of the box, you have a very, very classic picture of Skeletor versus He-Man on Battle Cat, again with Castle Grayskull in the background. You can see that Battle Cat's armor comes off and it goes on and it straps up and it can move and twist. And there's a couple other figures in the line from the Origins series, so that's pretty neat right there. Let's see, on the top of the box, nothing. On the bottom of the box, you have just the Masters of the Universe symbol and some credits for the box and barcode and stuff like that. So anyway, that's it for the box. No one wants to see this guy in the box. I know I don't. So let's get this cat out and see what it can do. And here we have the Origins Battle Cat out of the box. And out of the box, he is approximately 11 inches from his nose to the very tip of his tail, right down here. And that's a good length for him. And you can see he comes with his armor, but I took it off so we could take a quick look at him. I guess he would be considered Cringer in this format, but he still doesn't look very cringery because he looks like he'd still eat you if you weren't too careful. So, taking a quick look at him, bringing him closer to the camera, you can see that he has a lot of nice molded detail into his body. You can see a lot of little fur that's molded in there, all the way coming down to his legs. He's base green with some nice orangish yellow stripes all throughout on both sides. Let's get a little closer. Let's move all that back. And his face is a nice green, and his eyes, I don't know if you can see those, but they're very almost glossy. Got a nice shine to them, and they're very small, kind of really like he's really gonna eat you. Very scary. So his mouth is articulated, it comes down, and you can see some nice red in there and some teeth. Got those 4 standard teeth that the original Battle Cat had. I think they could have put more teeth in if they were so inclined. I think that would make it look a little better, but yeah, that's what you're gonna do. That's not what they did. So we can go ahead and start into the articulation. This guy is actually articulated, unlike the original Battle Cat. Starting off at his head, you have a nice hinge here that allows his head to go up a lot, but it can't really go, well, you can go down a little bit, I guess, depending on where if that was your standard, then yeah, he can go down. It can go left and right, so that's a good articulation there. So, and obviously, as we saw earlier, his mouth can go up and down. Rawr! So that is cool. Each leg is articulated too. It is on a swivel joint, so it can go up a little bit and back a little bit, but not too far because of the way it's molded in, so it can't actually get the full range or 360 degrees, but it can go more than the other Battle Cat could. His paws are articulated, I guess what you would normally call a bicep or a thigh swivel. It can go all the way around, and it has an elbow or knee, whatever you want to call this, bend. It can go up like that, so that's a good range of motion, and it can't go back any, so, but it just goes up like that. That's pretty much it. Standard for all 4 legs. They all have that twist and turn and articulation at the knee is what I'll eventually call that. Now the tail, it goes all the way around 360 degrees, so you can get this thing going in all sorts of neat propeller motions, and it has a hinge, so it can go down to a standard, happy, or it could go up a little bit to like, I don't know. I'm not really sure animals how they would like be, if that's good. So that would be good. I think that would be like he's on the prowl or mischievous or something like that, and then down to a normal cat kind of thing. So yeah, so that is pretty much him for his articulation and standard color scheme without his battle armor. But let's go ahead and get this battle armor on him and see what he looks like as Battle Cat. And here we have Battle Cat all armored up and on the turntable, and he's spinning around so we can get a good 360 of how he looks with his armor. And the armor just slips right on. You just pop it on his head, and on the back, on the saddle, it just has a strap where you just measure it and stick it in a little tab. So there is nothing new, and I think everybody's seen that enough to know how it's done. So but anyway, so this is Battle Cat, and I think he looks really good. And if we take a look at him off of the turntable, bring him up, get a good look at that face, you can see his helmet has painted yellow eyes, sort of the similar color, yellow-orange eyes as the stripes on his body. So that's really neat. That way you could have actually two different color eyes for him. When he's in Cringer, he could have, or when he's a Cringer, yeah, he can have green eyes, and when he's Battle Cat, he can have yellow eyes. And the armor does not affect the articulation in the head, so you can see he get his mouth open, and he can still move his head either way, and it can go up, and down. So yeah, that was good that they didn't attach the helmet to this saddle like in the old one. They actually had a little tab that would connect the two. But anyway, again, here's the saddle. It looks pretty nice. We'll see if my He-Man can fit on there, because they are actually two different companies. Super 7 may not have taken into account, because this was a brand new figure, or I guess Mattel may not have taken into account the Super 7 figure, but we will see. And there's again on the bottom where the saddle attaches. All you gotta do is, like, again, slide it through there and then find your matching tab. It's usually the second one, and that fits really snug, so it's not going anywhere on this Battle Cat. So anyway, I don't really have anything to compare him to. Well, wait a second, let me see if my wife is anywhere around. Hang on. And for comparison, why my wife is out of the room, here he is with Swiftwind. Swiftwind being She-Ra's mount, and as you can see, they are roughly the same size, which they should be, because, you know, if He-Man's going to ride Battle Cat, he's got to be about the size of a horse. So let's see if we get the size comparison. I can't really tell there. Yeah, so I think they're pretty much comparable when it comes to sizes. So get him inside. So yeah, he's obviously a little longer because he can stretch his neck. I bet if we could move like Swiftwind's neck up and down, it would have been the same. So anyway, that is it for comparisons. And this has been the Mattel Origins Masters of the Universe Battle Cat, which I think is the best Battle Cat that's on the market right now. Now that we've took a look at Battle Cat, let's go see about his master. And that brings us to what I will consider the definitive He-Man toy. And this toy came out last year and was brought to us by Super 7. Super 7 is a fairly new toy company, and they're making a lot of 80s stuff. They're going to give us our new Thundercats. They're working on Ninja Turtles. And obviously, they did He-Man. And I can't wait to see what else that they put out. They got some good stuff going for them. And like I said, this particular He-Man, I believe, checks all the boxes that I was looking for how he appeared in the cartoon. Not necessarily the original toy, mind you. So taking a look at the box, you can see it's on a blister card. Very reminiscent of the original Masters of the Universe boxes. It has new at the top for ages 14 plus. Masters of the Universe, He-Man, most powerful man in the universe, as seen on TV. Figure twist for power punch action. And you can see He-Man there, and he has a little what would have been a comic book back in the 80s, but I think that is just a card. We'll take a look at that when we get them out. Super 7 right here on the bottom. And flipping him around, you can see he comes with a classic battle scene between him and Skeletor there. Small read-up says He-Man battles his immortal enemy Skeletor high atop the mysterious Castle Grayskull. And you can see the other figures in the line. You have He-Man, She-Ra, Skeletor, Hordak, Hero, and Eldor. So that is pretty neat. And over here you have a little picture of his twist waist pat punching action. So you know, you can twist him and he'll turn. We'll look at that barcode, some credits for the box, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing down here, and we've seen this guy enough in the box. No one wants to see him in the box. I know I don't. So let's get the most powerful man in the universe out of the box and see what he really can do. And here we have He-Man out of the package, and out of the package he stands at approximately 5.5 inches, and he comes with 3 accessories. He comes with his shield, he comes with a nice power sword, which every He-Man has to have a power sword, but this He-Man has 2 power swords, and this other power sword is technically the one where you can combine the other half of Skeletor's power sword, and they can get into Castle Grayskull, because that's one of those gimmicks that happened. You know, you had to have both halves of the power sword to get into Castle Grayskull. So, but anyway, that is that. The card on the back of the figure again is here, and you can see it has some nice artwork from the series. There he is, looking all cartoony. And on the back, it gives you a brief read-up of how He-Man came to be. So if you want to pause this right now and read that, that will be good. I'll let you do that. And then we'll move up a little bit. So if you want to pause and read the bottom, you can do that. But anyway, the original He-Man there, that's kind of an artist's conception of what he would look like. And for the TV show, they got rid of the axe and the shield, and they just had him have his sword, so that's what he looks like. But that particular picture is what he looks like in the cartoon, which we've seen earlier. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get to the figure. And taking a closer look at He-Man. He-Man. We'll try to get him up here close to the camera and some light. He has a very, very nice head sculpt. We can get close in on that. Very serious, nice eyebrows. I mean, gee, I love that very earnest face sculpt that he has here. His hair, it's not yellow like the Origins. It's a nice golden blonde, which is what it's supposed to be. Has some nice dark skin. It is a little glossy, so he's gotten himself oiled up. He's got a muscle competition after the video, folks, so that's why he... No, that's not. His, I don't know what you'd call his chest piece here. It's nice, solid piece. Has the red cross there. On the back, you can see it kind of comes across and connects at these 2 points here, and has a little clip there in the middle. I'm kind of sad that I don't see a sheath, a sword holder on here that you can, but I guess the sword will probably just slide in the back there. We'll work on that in just a minute. And coming down to his belt, nice gold there, and some brown fluffy trunks, or hairy, shaggy, I don't know what you want to do that. And he does appear to have some sort of writing on his back. I don't know if we can get that into focus. Sorry about the blurriness there, but basically it says Super 7 made in China. So coming down, some nice brown legs and some reddish brown boots. That's a very solid molded piece. It's all connected, and there is actually nothing on the bottom of the boots. No holes or trademarks or anything like that. That's interesting. Oh, and he has some golden bracers right here on his arm. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, I really like the way this guy looks. Again, that was the point of this whole video, is to show that this is the He-Man I think is the best looking of the lot. Alright, moving on to articulation. Starting at the head, his head does go 360 degrees. If you want to kill him, snap his spine or his neck, you could do that. His arms do go all the way around 360 degrees, but there is no elbow bend, there is no wrist articulation, and there is actually a waist articulation, but it's part of the gimmick. So what you'll do is you kind of push him in a little side, and then let him go. So he's got a spring in his waist, so that's very reminiscent of the original toy. Yeah! So that's pretty neat. Other than that, I would not try to articulate his waist further. I think if you did that, you would break the spring and then the gimmick would be gone. Legs can just swivel back and forth a little bit. There is a hinge right here. You can see that there is a hinge. It does move a little bit. I don't know why you would put that hinge there. I guess if you wanted to kind of have him sitting cross-legged, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but anyway. And that's pretty much it for his leg articulation. There's nothing at the knee, there's no foot or boot cut, so basically that's what you get. He looks good, but very limited in articulation, because it's, you know, going back to the old way that they did the figures back in the day. Alright, moving on. And here He-Man is holding his sword of power, and it fits right in there in the little I don't know what you'd call this, little bar that's coming down from the hilt to the bottom of the handle. Can wrap around his fists and make him hold it more securely, so when you do the little gimmick, it won't fly out of his hand. He-Man, He-Man. So that's pretty neat. Uh-oh, that's thunder. It's about to storm. I better quit. And for his second sword, now holding it is a bit problematic because it's not as thick. The handle can't really fit into his hand until you have Skeletor's part attached to it. But, I mean, you hold it, you can get it in there, but it's going to fall out if you're not too careful. And especially if you try to do the little thing. Well, oh, yeah, see, there it goes. Ha ha, I was right. Anyway, that is it for his second sword, which isn't really useful for anything unless you have Skeletor's half. Alright, next. And for his next accessory, we have his shield. And if you look at the back of his shield, you have a little clip type thing here and a slot. And that slot is for his hand to go into. And basically you'll put his hand through on his left hand. It's open, so it will kind of go through there so he can handle it, and then it will clip to his wrist and just snap in there. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so it's basically it. You just put it in there, put it in the hand, and it snaps. So now he has his shield. Ta-ta, He-Man with a shield that he never used in the cartoon, but you know, they give him He-Man. Okay, that is pretty neat. And well, before we go, let's put the sword in here, and so he can have his sword and his shield. There we go, He-Man. And so we can do the little da 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 da. Woo! Woo! All right, and that's it for his accessories. Moving on. And for comparison, hopefully we can get through this without him topping over, or the comparisons topping over, because they are all going to be kind of hard to stand. Here he is with a original Ninja Turtle. So it's kind of small, but you know, Ninja Turtles are going to be smaller than regular people, so I think that scale works. That's pretty neat. Okay, here he is with the Funko Savage World Thundercat Lion-O. I think that is a very good comparison. Well, I think Lion-O's a little too big, so I think if he was to be brought down just one more peg, he would match really well with the He-Man there. But I was curious to see how that scaled. Here he is with one of those wrestlers. This is Animal from the Legion of Doom. This is the original one from 1980 something. And that's pretty good. He's a little taller than He-Man too, but what are you gonna do? I think He-Man could take him. Let's see. Let's get something a little more familiar with He-Man here. He is with my wife's She-Ra figure that I kind of took down from the shelf, so don't tell her. So that looks pretty good scale. Obviously, they are made slightly different from each other, but I think the height, She-Ra's a little taller. Could be just that I have He-Man at a wider stance, but there you go. And for our modern comparison, again, only thing I have is She-Ra toys because my wife. Here he is with the deluxe She-Ra, and that's like really too big. This is the one Mattel put out a few years ago. I think Mattel. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I can't remember, but yeah, she's a little big for him. But anyway, those are some comparisons that I thought worked really well. But the real comparison that I want to see is with this guy, and this is the reason we bought them and we're doing this review, is to have the He-Man and Battle Cat together. Alright, He-Man, come on, stand up. I guess we should put him on the ground. So again, he's kind of hard to stand. So far I like this scale, because this would be about the size of a horse compared to He-Man, and some people would consider this, I think, too big, but I think that looks great. And because they are both very, very cartoony. So here is the moment of truth, everybody. The moment of truth. Can He-Man sit on top of the Origins Battle Cat? So let's see. Get him in there. Put him in. Yes. Oh, let's get that on the screen. So, wow. Yes, that is workable. I think that looks really good. And he is very comfy in there. He sits very nice. There's not a lot of room to wiggle around in. It's not too small. It's not too big. I think that is an awesome, awesome fit. And this is going to be my display for He-Man and Battle Cat. That is neat. That is so, so cool. Awesome. Fits really good. I mean, there is no wiggle room. He's not about to fall out or anything. That's just awesome. Okay. I'm not really a big He-Man fan, but again, this looks cool. See, get him up there, and oh, we gotta have He-Man's sword. Hang on, be right back. And ladies and gentlemen, this is He-Man and Battle Cat, and I think this set looks awesome. And again, I'm not a big He-Man fan. I don't have a lot of them in the collection, but these two mix and matched from Super 7 and Mattel, I think works great. This is a He-Man collector's dream. I think this is what you would want on your shelf. I think this comes right out of the cartoon with the He-Man and the Battle Cat, and they fit so perfect together. I don't think you can ask for a better set than this. If you like the Origins He-Man, go ahead, by all means, pick it up. It just looked a little too different, or not what I was looking for for the show. The Origins Battle Cat, now it's perfect. Again, right down to the eyes, the color, the bright red of the mask and the saddle, and the Super 7 He-Man sitting on top of him, right out of the cartoon, right out of it. So guys, hope you enjoyed it. I know this was a different kind of review today, but it was still enjoyable to do. And again, I gave you some good ideas if you're trying to get a He-Man collection going. All right, well, that's it for the review, guys. Hope you have a good night. Until next time, keep playing.